to what might be the most exciting part of the day, and potentially also your favorite part of the day. The most exciting one, why? Simply because we're going to speak about the future, the next generation. I'm not looking at the right people here. Here you are, the next generation, young people. Some of you were present at the International Conference of Insurance Europe last year, also in Brussels, and you might remember that we had the pleasure of welcoming about 50 young people to our conference. Some of them came back, which means they liked it. But during that day of the conference, they worked on insurance. They brainstormed about insurance. And some of them came on stage to share their perspective, their views about insurance in a very, I think, refreshing, but sometimes also very direct and honest way. And we want to keep that energy alive for today. One thing, however, that the young people didn't do last year is to explore why insurance is important. And we thought we need to address this very specific topic this year. So we had an idea with the team here in Insurance Europe, thinking who is better placed than young people to explain to other young people why insurance matters. And we had the idea also with our partner, the European Youth Parliament, to launch a video competition. So we invited young people between 15 and 35 to send us short videos explaining why insurance matters in their everyday life. And believe it or not, but we received 20 different video applications, which was much more than what we expected, in fact. All these different submissions were completely different. They were coming from all over Europe, completely different. You had some of them actually pretty professional. Others you could really watch that it was low budget, which is fine. Some of them were actually pretty serious. Others were very funny. Some of them were slightly sad, a bit dramatic. And we even had a video that was turning insurance as a poem. Imagine that. One thing that they had in common, however, is that all these videos were extremely smart, brilliant, and very creative. And the other thing that they had in common is that these videos were made by young people, for young people, using a tone, the style, and the language of young people. We had the pleasure of watching them all in Insurance Europe, but we had also the very hard task to select 3 finalist videos. And that was really tough. We had a lot of negotiations, but still, at the very end, we came to an agreement. And in a few minutes, we'll watch all together these 3 videos, and you will be invited to vote for your favorite one. This is very serious, because the finalists are today with us. But before we do that, I would like to invite on stage a representative from the European Youth Parliament, Nadia Schnider. Please join me in welcoming Nadia on stage.
Thank you, William, for the warm words of welcome. Every time the European Youth Parliament gets to come back to Insurance Europe, I'm speaking on behalf of the entire team. It's a pleasure to be back, so thank you for having us once again. A little of context of what perspective I'm speaking from. I've been active with the European Youth Parliament for nearly 6 years now as a volunteer, and in this time I've had the opportunity to be a board member of the Swiss European Youth Parliament Association, initially as treasurer, later as president, and now that I'm on the older side of this youth organization, I'm glad to stay on in capacities such as this, where I can help spread the message. Then, what is the European Youth Parliament? It's one of the biggest organizations in civic education in Europe, reaching 40 countries through independent national organizations, roughly 25,000 young people a year, through more than 400 events per year as well. So if you count, that's more days than we have in a year even. That's how many events are happening all across the continent, sometimes all at the same time. Next year, the European Youth Parliament turns 40 years old, which means that the Youth Parliament has been young people's platform for 40 years of European history, which have been turbulent. So the European Youth Parliament has platformed young people's perspectives through events such as the fall of the Berlin Wall and the signing of the Schengen Agreement, the introduction of the euro, you name it, and of course also current events like the war in Ukraine. Since 2024, Insurance Europe has been an invaluable partner to us, and it's really helped us bring the topics of finance and insurance to the forefront of young people's minds. In this partnership, we have had the luck of connecting young people to industry experts, which is a unique experience most young people would not have otherwise. And whenever we talk to our participants, these are always the experiences they highlight the most as something that has really stayed with them. So thank you to all the experts who have kindly lent their time to us. Some of the exciting projects we look back on together in this partnership have been the pensions paper in 2024 that we were allowed to present at the Retirement Week. Then last year we conducted a survey together all about what do young people really think about insurance. And we were happy to get a little bit of the inside scoop for Insurance Europe. And most recently, we had a flagship international event in Pordenone, Italy, where with the help of Insurance Europe, we focused on financial literacy and insurance literacy. So working with young people across all these different projects and events, there are 3 key things that I would like to highlight that we have learned about how young people see insurance, and especially about how maybe they see it a little bit differently from seasoned industry experts as yourself. So, firstly, young people are not a homogeneous group by any means. Some young people are extremely passionate about this, they're very financially literate, our finalists here being good examples, but others are very scared of this topic and they feel overwhelmed. And they choose the strategy of sticking their head in the sand. They are the most at risk of being left behind in that generation. And one thing, however, that we see is in our survey, 80% of respondents said that they do not believe their education prepared them sufficiently for what awaits them in the real world of finance and insurance. So I think in this regard, the call to action for policy is very clear. Secondly, young people are quite a skeptical bunch. They have high levels of skepticism, and now keep in mind, my generation is the one that's grown up in the aftermath of the 2008-2009 financial crisis. And then during the COVID pandemic, we saw a huge wave of internet scams and financial scams and all of this. So don't fault us, please, for being a bit hesitant to just blindly trust. But nonetheless, we see that young people do care to see what is happening to the money, the savings they invest. So they are curious. And I'm happy to say that also in our survey, 79% of respondents actually said they very much welcome insurance companies and the industry being a very present part of public life and promoting responsible lifestyles and reducing risk in this as well. So I think this is also an invitation to you to be more present, to engage in discourse in civil society as much as you can. Thirdly, young people highly value convenience. I think this is simple. We all have our smartphones with us at all times, and young people note that they really value the opportunity of having online options. So in an attention economy, maybe the insurance industry needs to compete a little. Maybe insurance cannot afford to be boring in this day and age. And I think there are a lot of opportunities in technology, in mobile applications to really make this happen. Finally, I would like to have a little bit of an opening to share something that is happy, namely that the #1 word young people associate with insurance is safety. In this day and age, this is something I think more than ever that people entering their professional life value a lot, and I believe the insurance industry can really be a big partner to young people here. So in this vein, I can only echo the European Youth Parliament's key belief. Let's not just talk about young people, let's hear them lead the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nadia. You can actually stay on stage with me. Not obliged, but you can stay on stage with me. So I understand it's important to talk about young people. It's even more important to talk to young people, but I feel it's also important to have young people talking to us, and us listening to what the young people have to tell us. So I think the moment has come to welcome our 4 finalists. So we got 3 videos, but 4 finalists. I would like to welcome you on stage. And again, please do join me in welcoming our competitors. This is Maayan from Portugal, although I think the story is a bit more complex. This is Oula from Finland, and this is Patricia from Germany, and Jack from Ireland. So we got 3 video, but 4 person. There's something a bit wrong here, but we'll investigate. So in a moment, we'll watch all the videos, and you'll be invited to vote using Slido, the poll section of Slido. But before we do that, perhaps we can take a few minutes just to get to know you a bit better. Is it fine if I start with Maayan?
Of course.
Because I think she's prepared to be the first one on the list. So Maayan, can you say a few words about yourself, but also what was the process for you making that video, and most importantly, probably for the audience, what does insurance mean to you?
William, for the introduction. My name is Maayan Livermore. I'm originally from Ecuador, and I'm living in Portugal for a few years already. So, just graduated, I'm 23, and on my free time, I'm working on the expansion of a company to bring to Europe. But let's skip the boring part, and good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Insurance Europe, EYP, and also everyone present today. So, my mother always says that when I was little, I was like an earthquake. I could never stay still. Over time, I've found in extreme sport a way to channel out that energy that reconnect with myself. For me, freedom has always meant risk and adrenaline. Sometimes I think the slogan, "Just do it," was literally made for me. But the more I grow, the more I understand that freedom also comes responsibility. There have been important moments in my life, from having to learn how to walk again to moving alone to another country. Times where I learned what insurance truly represents. In English, insurance feels like a concept. In Spanish, seguro also feels like an emotion, safety, confidence, and protection. Creating this video has also been a moment for me of reflection, a moment to understand, to learn, and also to trust the process. So thank you so much for listening, and you can enjoy the video.
Right, thank you. Thank you so much, Maayan. I think without any further ado, I think we can watch your video right now.
Okay, perfect.
Just be prepared to see yourself on the screen and to hear your voice.
This is what freedom looks like. No limits, no fear. We chase the rush, we go faster, higher, further, and we never stop to think, what if? Not everything goes as planned, and sometimes 1 second changes everything. But it's not just about the risk, it's about what comes after. Insurance isn't about stopping your life, it's about making sure you can keep living it, even when things don't go your way. Because it's not just about the fall, it's about the recovery, the support, the way you get back up. And sometimes it's also about what the people around you think, like my family. Please be careful. Text us when you get there. Are you safe? Did you get insurance? Because for them, it's not just a trip, it's your safety. Being prepared doesn't make you weak, it makes you smart. Consider getting insurance if you don't have it yet.
All right, well done. Insurance makes you smart. I think that's the key takeaway for that one, right? Let's move on now to the second competitors with an S, because it's plural. So we've received 1 submission from Jack, but suddenly appearing, Patricia. All right. I think this is actually what makes the video very special, is that you build it, you developed it together, and if I understand, also quite remotely, because you're living in different countries, Ireland and Germany. How did the idea come to you?
So, hi everyone, I'm Patricia Paloma Zeitz. I'm from Germany, and Jack is my partner. So
and I'm from Ireland.
Exactly. And we're in a long-distance relationship. And Jack made me aware of this competition, and we just talked about it, brainstormed together, and thought it would be fun to participate. We've never done anything like that before. And yeah, it was kind of on the hand that with a long-distance relationship, talking about travel insurance would be a good idea to participate in this competition. And look at us now, we're here on stage. Didn't expect that, in fairness. You'll see that probably in the video, that we never had experience before with creating videos, so it's very different from Maayan's entry.
Yeah, as Patricia was saying, we just saw the advertisement online and thought, hey, this would be fun. So there was a bit of a learning curve in the production process, you might see, and judging by the quality of the production, there was not a lot of learning in that curve. So we had a lot of fun making it, and I hope you all have the same fun watching it.
That was your first video ever that you developed? Okay, right. I'm giving up there. Okay, well, let's not keep the suspense longer. Let's watch the video then.
Hi there, my name is Jack, and I'm from Ireland.
And I'm Paloma, and I'm from Germany.
And we're a long-distance couple.
So staying connected entails a lot of travel.
When we visit each other, I'm always hoping that things go smoothly. But sometimes life has other plans. That's why insurance is important.
Insurance is basically a way to protect yourself from those moments. With insurances, people regularly deposit small sums of money into a fund, so if something actually goes wrong, knock on wood, you're not left alone with a problematic situation.
Say we're faced with delays, cancellations, or lost luggage. Our travel insurance provides us with security and the option to act quickly. It turns a big problem into something manageable.
And when you're in a long-distance relationship, trying to make the most out of the little time you get together in each other's countries, that kind of security really matters. So, insurance isn't just about money. It is about making sure distance or plain bad luck do not stop you from living your best life. Together.
For us, it's about keeping things on track.
Okay. I love your small manageable problem, I have to say. That's also a very nice video, full of energy, like yours, actually. Something very different from actually the third video we have from our third competitor, who experienced actually yesterday night, I think, the travel insurance issue. I mean, you had an issue with your luggage that were not delivered for today. So Oula was very busy shopping this morning to find a suit that would be actually appropriate for the conference today. So always good to be covered, right?
Thank you, Willem. I hope you don't see that my suit is ill-tailored. I didn't have much time to get fitting suits. But I'd like to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to come here to present my video, and of course, thank you to my wonderful co-contestants for coming here also. As William said, I'm from Joensuu, Finland, and before you ask me where that is in Finland, it's really far away. Actually, I met some other person from Joensuu here, actually working for Insurance Europe, so I guess I got lucky. Insurance, for me at least, is security, as she said, and moving to another country in 1 year, actually to Maastricht, Netherlands, to study. I think insurance is going to be the thing that's supporting me when I'm leaving my other support systems behind. Actually, I participated here because I was in the conference last year, and I got really inspired by it, though if I said that to any of my classmates, saying excited and insurance in the same sentence, I might get some few weird looks, but I feel every time I've come here, I've learned something new, and I think that's really valuable. And I want to give that same experience to other young people as well, because they will also be entering their adulthoods and renting houses and buying cars in just a few years, and they're just going to need insurance for that.
Yeah, thank you very much to you for coming all the way from Finland, and to you all also, because that's quite a long trip to come to Brussels for you guys. One thing we didn't tell them before they joined is that they would be addressing industry leaders from all over the world, but also policymakers from Europe and the rest of the world. Didn't want to put any pressure on you, but now we can disclose the information. This is actually what the audience is made of. I think we can now watch your video, which has something in common with the previous one, which is the bike. Although that was not a real bike that you had, I think. Okay.
As young people, we hear about insurance constantly, whether it's on a bill or the fine print. But no one really sits us down to explain what it is, why it matters, or why we're actually paying for it. Is it just another adulting tax, or is it something more? At its core, insurance is about managing risks. It's meant to catch you when life throws a curveball. For example, when your long-awaited travel gets interrupted by a cancelled train. Or you're moving into your very first apartment and a pipe bursts in the unit above yours. Or you get into an accident. Insurance is there to turn a potential catastrophe into a minor inconvenience. But if you never really get into an accident or need a pipe replaced, where does your money go? Each time you pay your insurance bill, you contribute to a central pot. Thousands of us contribute each month. Most of us will be fine, but for the few who hit a streak of bad luck, the community's resources are there to rebuild their life. You're never just paying for yourself, you're joining a safety net. And here's the part they don't teach you in school. While your money sits in the pot, insurance companies use it to invest in things such as green energy and infrastructure. So your money's never just sitting there in a black hole, it's actually being used to boost the economy. When we young people enter our adulthood, insurance is there to ensure that we have the safety to work, to live, to move, and to build a future without the fear of one mistake or a slight mishap ruining the rest of your life. So, think of insurance kind of like this helmet. You hope you never truly need it, but you would be crazy to ride without it.
Very nice video also. I think I told you, they were all very different vibes, different types of energy, but all extremely good, I think, and very creative. But I think we can move to the next step, which is actually the vote by the audience. So you've seen on the screen, you have a QR code. What you need to do is to scan that QR code if you've not done so before. And not to go on the Q&A session, but the Pulse one. And this is where you need to select your favorite video. Just watch out, you can only select one, not two. So it's not a ranking, there's only one winner. That's the way we do it. We're not going to have the results appearing on the screen. The results will appear backstage, and someone is going to do it really old school. So write the results on a paper that will be put in an envelope. This is kind style. Right? Oh, that's a very good spirit. Very good spirit. All right, you still have a moment to vote. Sorry. Just to make sure, no conflicts of interest, no one knows the competitors, right? I think while we're waiting for the results of the vote, one thing I can do is to talk about what the winners, or the winner, sorry, will win. So what you're going to walk away with. The first thing is fame and glory. I think this is what you were coming from, Jack. Fame and glory, because the video that is going to win will be promoted by Insurance Europe on our website, on the social media, And that would be a way for us to promote financial education and insurance literacy towards young people, especially. So you would actually participate in something big and extremely positive for society, increasing insurance literacy for young people. The second thing that you would take away is what we call the Insure Wisely Award, something absolutely priceless. Thank you, Anne-Marie. The third thing that you would be taking away, I'm not sure this is the most practical thing, but this is actually a big check from Insurance Europe and the European Youth Parliament. And we actually want to prove through pictures that you're taking that away in the plan. We want to see you in your country with it. That's really important. And then, also important, you would get a 1 month unlimited Interrail pass for 2 persons, 2 sport vouchers, okay, and probably the most important, a full year of travel insurance coverage for 2 persons. So big question, who is going to win the super prizes of Insurance Europe? Drum roll, okay. Thank you. So the winner is, all the winners are, suspense is killing us, right?
A little bit.
We do that in a good spirit, right? We said there will be a winner, but no losers. Right. Okay, the winner is, you've looked, right? Can I call the team who's working on the EYP project to join me on stage? Anne-Marie, Kim, Danilo, and the EYP colleagues as well. Join me on stage, please. Okay. And what I propose is that we do... Is that okay? It's not too heavy. Okay. Is it a surprise to you? Okay. All right. The winner is 3, 2, 1, Oula.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Oula. So one of the prizes also that you won is the ability to make a speech now, if you want to.
Yes.
But you should not forget the big check that is coming from Thea.
Should we hold it like this?
No, it's yours. Thea.
Thank you.
And your microphone is on, so you can do your speech.
Hopefully. I have it on my phone.
Thank you.
Can I go to the podium?
Yes, of course.
I think I need fall insurance for this. Actually, did I leave my phone? Excuse me.
But that's actually interesting that you prepared a winner's speech.
Of course. Excuse me, I'll take a minute. Again, without sounding like a broken record, I'd like to thank everyone here for voting for me, for giving me this confidence, but also thank you again for these other contestants. The videos were amazing, and I could see a lot of effort was put into them. You know, as a Finn, of course, it's pretty rare for people from my country to come to such events as these, mainly because of the distance, so it's really nice to actually represent this kind of less often represented country. But I always like to start these speeches as a young person with these 4 words. But to the heart of it, in 10 years, I won't be starting my speeches that way. I will be entering my adulthood. I will be buying cars, hopefully, stepping into the job market, starting moving into new countries. And more importantly, so we'll have millions upon millions of other young people. our generation, me included, will need security to comfort these changes, to secure them in this ever-changing world, and that security hinges especially on insurance, and whether or not young people actually hear about insurance and get insurance, that depends and hinges on what we do today, what we teach them today. So I hope my video submission was a small part of making that happen, and one more time, thank you to everyone for this, and hopefully my generation will also learn that insurance is more than just a bill. Thank you.
I think we're done. Yes, we hand over to Catherine. Catherine, welcome back. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, and well done.